Hey guys, today I'm back with another vocal tip video, and today we're going to be talking about efficient versus inefficient breathing for singing. So when it comes to efficient breathing, the first thing that you want to do is make sure that your body is balanced. If you've been keeping up with my vocal tips videos, you'll remember that I made an entire video about correct singing posture. If you haven't checked it out yet, the link will be down in the description box below, and I will also include a card in this video that you guys can click on. So in my correct singing posture video, I was trying to help you guys find your best posture for your body. Everybody feels differently, right? So what might work for one person might not necessarily be the best for you. So it really is not just a matter of listening to suggestions on how you can improve your posture. You have to feel it in your body for yourself as well. And one of the things that I mentioned in the video was you can ask yourself, okay, is the weight distributed evenly between my two legs? And that's gonna be important when you're trying to make sure that your body is balanced. If your body is balanced and you are using the correct posture for singing, then your chest, larynx, and throat should be physically aligned with each other, which then helps to facilitate efficient breathing. It also helps you to produce a much better and healthier sound when you're singing. One really important tip that you might want to watch out for when you're singing is that when you inhale before singing a phrase, you want to make sure that you're not gasping. So we don't want any so notice how you can kind of hear that gasp. It's very audible. And not only that, you can see if I pull my hair back, if I go, all of this tenses up. Like all of these muscles here, you can clearly see so much tension, and your shoulders also tend to rise like this. Ideally, when you're inhaling before singing a phrase or something, again, you want to be using your diaphragm. And I made another video about this, about the whole breathing process. I'll also put a link to that in the description box below, and also include another card in this video if you guys haven't seen it yet. But back to the point, you want to make sure that when you're inhaling for singing, that you are not gasping. The intake of air should more or less be silent. So definitely none of that. You want to breathe from the diaphragm, which kind of brings me to the next point. So when you're breathing for singing, you really should be feeling the breath from the lower part of your body, specifically around the lower rib area, which is where your diaphragm is, and also in your lower abdominal muscles. If you remember from one of my previous vocal tip videos, I did mention that activating the lower abs is more efficient than activating the upper or middle abs when you are singing. And other key points that you really want to keep in mind when you're singing is that you should not have any tension in your face, your neck, your lips, your shoulders, or your chest. Okay, so that's why I know this is it's gonna be so weird, but this is kind of the reason why when singers are warming up, they do things like massage their jaw like this, even if it looks kind of ridiculous. They do this a lot just to remove any tension here. And it's also why the lip trill is such a popular warm-up. If you don't know what a lip trill is, it's basically just going and you can either do that pitched or not pitched, or right? And again, the goal is to remove any tension in the lip area. Because if you have tension in your lips, you can't lip trill if there's tension in your lips. Another very common thing that singers will do as part of their warm-up is just to shake everything out to make sure everything is super loose. There are other physical warm-ups that many singers do before they start their vocal warm-ups. And I will dedicate a whole other video to sort of physical and vocal warm-ups that you can do before you sing. So stay tuned for that in the future. Now I want to talk about inefficient breathing. More specifically, I kind of want to talk about some really common poor breathing habits that some singers might have. So the very first one that I want to talk about is a lot of singers, you'll notice that when they start singing, their chest actually kind of collapses inwards. Okay, it can either be a very big noticeable movement or just a small subtle one. Either way, we don't want to collapse the chest, because when you do this, it does not allow for the proper alignment for efficient breathing, and it can also negatively affect the sound quality that gets produced when you're trying to sing like that. Earlier, I mentioned that you should not be gasping when you are inhaling. And the reason for this is because when you gasp for air, your vocal folds actually clamp shut. Okay? That's already not ideal. You really don't want to be kind of like cutting off your larynx. You really don't want that to happen. But not only that, when it clamps shut, it also creates a lot of extra pressure in your chest, which is super uncomfortable and actually makes your singing worse. I mean, you can try it out. Honestly, you can try like singing with pressure in your chest. It's not nice, and it does not feel nice either. And this kind of does tie into my next point. A lot of singers are usually told that when they're singing, they need to take in a lot of air. To a certain extent, that is true, but you also should not take in more air than you need. When you're taking in air for a phrase, for example, you want to make sure that you use all of that air by the end of the phrase. When you take in too much air, kind of the same result happens, like your vocal cords clamp shut, which then creates that extra pressure in your chest. A lot of the time, when singers gasp for air or take in more air than is necessary and their vocal cords clamp shut and there's like extra pressure in their chest, oftentimes it's really hard for them to recover in time if they have a next musical phrase coming up that they have to sing. They're usually late for that phrase because they cannot recover on time, and so they cannot come in time for that next phrase. That's another reason why, like physiology aside, if you want to get your entrances on time, you really should not be taking in more air than you need, and you should not be gasping for air either. Anyway, this is just a quick little video to give you guys some tips on how you might be able to improve your breathing technique when it comes to singing. I hope you all found this helpful and informative, and as usual, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos in the future. Thumbs up this video, leave a comment down in the comment section below, especially if you have any questions, and share the video. As well, don't forget to follow me on my social media platforms. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all very soon. Take care. Bye.